Hey, Don Copeland here, and it's time for another pro tip. And this time we're going to talk to you about, on your small format DTF printer, about dealing with the case of oily prints. Challenge with oily prints is they don't come right off the machine and they're oily. You generally don't see it for a day or two, so it's something you want to check for periodically with your prints. What it'll be is if you turn it over and you feel the back of the print, you'll actually feel a little oily residue to it if you're not getting a full set on your inks before they get dried in the dryer and the glue gets melted on them. All right, if you've ever seen this happen, you may not know where it's coming from. We cover it in our training on our machines, but maybe not everybody's covering that, and so maybe this will help you out and help you grow your business a little better. Maybe you'll buy your next machine from us, okay? That's what I'm thinking. So what you want to do in this situation is you want to do what I call the end of day, next day maintenance, because you can't do this maintenance at the end of the day because this puppy's still smoking hot, right? So what we're going to do is you're going to come in here, and this one's in pretty good shape, but I want to go ahead and wipe it down. And there's still a little bit of color you'll see there. I'm cleaning all of these areas, maybe along in here, all right? But the most prominent place you're going to find oil buildup, a lot of times these have a curve back, and they actually have a lip in here. And that's intentional to catch that oil in, but it still can drop by the side. So you just take your cloth, this is the paper towel, and actually just run it through here, and there's a little bit, I do a pretty good job of keeping mine clean, but it'll get that oil that's built up inside of there out and away. And then now you can start printing for today, and you've done the last bit of maintenance you didn't do for the last day you ran the machine by making sure this oil is cleaned up when it's at a cool temperature. That'll help you from getting those oil spots on your transfers. Nobody wants an oily spotted transfer. So there's a couple of ways of addressing it. Since these machines come straight off of the printer into the dryer basically, you do not have some of the larger prints will have a plate that'll actually warm up the prints before they get the powder, which is actually going to cause them to gas off a little bit better, and they're less likely to be oily. So when you have a machine like this, where you don't have that, really the best way to address it is by giving it more time in the heater. Now you may have to drop your temperature a little bit more, but the longer it takes from the time that it leaves the printer until it exits out of the dryer, the more likely you are going to be to burn off or gas off that glycerin, which is what's coming out of the inks and getting on the back of this print afterward. It's not going to feel oily at first because what's happened is it's still been encapsulated by the glue, but as it starts to cool down and dry, it's going to actually leach up through it. So how do you deal with that? Best way to do it, simply slow your printer down. What's the easiest way to slow your printer down? Go to a higher resolution print. Our typical print on this machine is a 720 by 1080. Bump that up to 720 by 1440. It's going to slow the printer down. Now you probably want to drop the temperature in your dryer a couple of degrees, 3 or 4, maybe 5 degrees, because you're going to be spending more time in here. But that more time it's in there, the more time it has for that glycerin to evaporate out, being drawn out by your extractor, and should take care of your issues with your oily prints. That's it. That's your pro tip for today.
For more pro tips, follow and subscribe. For more information on direct-to-film, call ColDesi at 877-793-3278.